Hello, this is Jacob Sauer. This is part 1 of 4 of the math assignment. I would like to ask you to excuse any unprofessionality during this, if that's even a word. I'm very poor at recording, and you'll probably hear a lot of uhs. This is the format I decided to go with, as I had to make a video and I had to show off all the functionality of my program. I figured that it would be great to make it in a way that people could use and understand, so I created a calculator with a menu system allowing you to choose your vector and your operation, and then if you have any more variables that are required for that operation, you input them at that time. Yeah. All right. This is the Vector 2D class. Essentially, this class is for any vector in 2 dimensions. It collects an x and a y value for a vector and sets and gets them, or gets and sets them. Then underneath, it has a multitude of methods here that you can call in the main program to perform operations, as long as you provide it with the values necessary. This first part here, up at the top, is just declaring the vectors and the x and y value for it. Then down here, from this point on, these are our methods that we're going to call and use in our main program. These ones are associated with bouncing, and then we have our add vector, subtract vector, multiplying by a scalar, and these are the methods that we're using for getting the magnitude and the angle, which are combined into one option in the calculator. As you can see, I've done my best to try to keep this calculator neat and clean so it's intuitive to use. These integers are essentially used for my menu. The whole thing runs on a while loop so that it can be quit out of after an operation if the user so desires. This is my menu. I'm doing my best to keep that clean. And then afterwards, after it sets the x and y value to be sent over to the Vector 2D class, we have our operations. So if they choose bouncing up horizontal wall, it uses this, etc., etc. A vertical wall, these are the ones for adding and subtracting vectors allow you to set another x and y value for another vector, and then add and subtract them. So those are here. This is the scalar. Sorry, pardon. Down here is the scalar. Scalar works similarly, allows you to set a value for a scalar, and then it multiplies the vector by the scalar. And down here at the bottom, we have our magnitude and angle of vector combined into one operation here. And it'll give you all that information. This here is a fun way I found you can use to do a degree character in the thing, which is excellent. And then this allows you to quit or keep going. So as you can see, I've ran the program. Welcome to Jacob's Vector Calculator. Now I'm going to input values for my x and y of my original vector. So let's say my value is 50 and 20. Now it shows that my vector is 50 and 20 up there at the top, and then allows me to choose an operation. So for example, I want to bounce the vector off a horizontal wall. 1, enter. My original vector is 50, 20, bounced off of a horizontal wall. It's now 50 and negative 20. Keep using calculator, of course. Just so you know, from now on, I'm going to put in the value for the vector each time without showing you because I need to save time. This is bouncing off of a vertical wall. My original vector, 50, 20, now negative 50, 20. This is adding a vector. So my original vector is 50 and 20, and my secondary vector that I'm going to add is going to be 20 and 50. New vector is now 70, 70. This is subtracting a vector, so I'm going to subtract 10 and 10 to get 40 and 10 from my 50 and 20. This is multiplying by a scalar. So if I have my scalar and I want it to be 5, I now multiplied the vector by the scalar. 250 by 100. Getting the magnitude and angle of the vector are calculated immediately after selecting the menu option, so I'll do it right here. 6. Your original vector is 50, 20, and there are my magnitude and my vector, and I don't want to have to say the decimals. That concludes the showcase of all the functionality of my calculator. Yes, I do realize that earlier these both said get magnitude. That's due to some bad copy pasting over from my Vector2D class. Thank you very much for watching, and I apologize that it's 5 minutes and 30 seconds long.